what's up?
How are you?
Good.
What are we doing today?
Today we'll be installing Lexan Windows. So we got these from Condor Speed Shop, and we're gonna show you today how we install it. There are many different ways of doing it, but we'll show you our way.
So the window that we're working on, Matt already did the rear window on his own. Looks phenomenal. So today we figured we'd share how we do the side windows.
So as I know, there are three ways of doing it. Most people use just rivets. So they drill holes in these and in the car, and then use regular rivets. The other option is self-tapping screws. So they just use like regular screws and use as many as they want, and screw the window straight to the body. And the third one, the one that I'm gonna do today, is Rivnuts. So they look like this. The benefit of this solution is that I can put the window on, screw it in, take it off whenever I want, put it back on again if I wanted to. Potentially at some point the car is gonna get a cage. Maybe it's gonna get painted inside, so I'll need to remove the window anyway, or all the windows. What you see here as well is like I have two different kinds of gaskets. I do not know which one is gonna work best. Probably I'm gonna use both of them on this project. The reason why is that one is gonna seal the window a little bit better. Obviously it's Lexan, it's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna be loud, it's gonna rattle probably, and it's not gonna be weatherproof by any means, but I would like to get as sealed as possible for the sound inside of the car. Two, if you look closely here, there's this recess between the B pillar and the edge where we're gonna be putting the Rivnuts in, or in your case maybe rivets. Thing is that here originally there was a window gasket going on this one. I removed that for weight reduction. I would like this window to be as smooth in the shape as possible. That's why I decided to go with the gaskets. I've seen some guys going without a gasket and just bolting it in or riveting it in, and then you can see this wave effect between rivets. So the Lexan tends to like pull out between the rivets. You can actually see a little bit here on my rear window. Even though I use the gasket, still a little bit like bubbles. So I don't know if you can show it in video, but
yeah, I can see right here with the light. Actually, you can see the light curving around the.
So this is probably as close as it gets to getting it smooth. I haven't seen anyone having it perfectly smooth. And but I like this. I like it clean, so that's what I'm gonna do on the sides as well.
Yeah, and I mean ultimately it's a race car, so
it doesn't have
aesthetics
to be perfect,
are always second.
But,
yeah.
But yet, track car doesn't mean trash car, as I say. So I want to make it look good and professional, and have the ability of removing the window, reinstalling it if I feel like I have to do that.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Yep. So let me show you why we're gonna remove the trim. I decided to remove the trim because it's a little bit problematic to install this window. So if you slide it in with the trim on, it's really hard to align it, as you can see. And maybe I'm not super handy when it comes to this, but I noticed that getting it just right in the groove, it might be challenging. And since we're working with very narrow bezel, I would say, I want to make sure that it's perfectly aligned. So at this point where the car is, it's not hard to remove the trim. It's just few screws around the trim, pop it off. It's gonna cost me 3 minutes of work, but it might save my window or the car from making some pricey mistakes. So
good idea.
I'm gonna start with that. Weight reduction continues. The first few on the back, they're a little bit more challenging because of the gasket, and I actually might remove this gasket since it doesn't serve any purpose.
And it's kind of dry rotted too, isn't it?
Actually, what it is that this rubber deteriorates and it actually falls apart. If I just pulled it down now, it will literally fall apart. That's why here you cannot see it anymore. I just cut it out because it totally fell apart, like in this corner.
Right.
Just like that, it comes off. Cool.
Sweet.
Side.
Clean surface to work with. That's good.
Now you can see that we can perfectly just put it in where it belongs, and you can start marking the the holes that we want to drill. So it's way cleaner and easier to install at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the challenge of the concave of the glass window versus this, which is just a straight piece.
Yep.
So that's definitely challenging.
Yep. So conveniently, this glass came with like a groove here and the foil cut in between. The reason why is that we're gonna paint this inside, the outside part of it, to mimic the OEM look on the window. So all this, we're gonna use gloss black paint, spray paint, cover it, like leave this on, paint it, and it's gonna look almost like stock. So you can see here in the rear window, I painted this as well, and looks.
Oh, you painted that?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So
I couldn't tell. I thought that's how the window came, to be honest with you.
I painted it. So,
That's awesome. Looks clean. I like it.
Since this glass didn't come pre-drilled, I want to see where this rim is. We don't have much to work with, so I need to make sure that I'm hitting the holes in the right spot. So now I can see it through the Lexan. So we can go like this.
Perfect. Yeah, you can see it really well.
And you'll see like all this is going to be blacked out eventually. Okay.
So I guess that's another huge advantage. I mean, I think you already mentioned that, but with the Rivnuts is that you can get the fitment perfect, and then you're able to take it off without issues to paint it and make it all nice.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It's pretty cool.
I feel like this should work. So I'm considering reusing the stock holes where the OEM window was installed, to grab it in these two places and maybe get one more up here and one in the middle to get the curve in the window just right. But I think that could be a good spot to start with these two bolted in.
So use those as like a guide is what you're saying?
Yeah,
almost?
just to have it in one spot.
Yeah.
So what I learned from doing the rear window was that even though we tapped all the we used a punch to mark all the holes, once you start installing everything, sometimes those riv nuts might move a little bit and the holes are not aligned anymore. Just to be safe and not redo this later, I think I'm just gonna bolt it on two and mark the other ones and then take it from there. Yeah, I like this. So screw this sucker on, threads are on, and now let's pray to gods of speed that it fucking works. Oh yeah, it's good. Okay.
So how do you know how far to go?
It's by feel, to be honest.
So you just have to know.
You're gonna see that at some point the riv nut doesn't move in the hole anymore, doesn't twist. But you don't want to go too hard because you might strip the threads in it. So again, by feel. It's kind of weird, but
It looked like you were putting quite a bit of pressure on that.
yes.
Wow.
Surprisingly a lot, but maybe it's because of the size of it and that the arms are not very long.
Mm-hmm.
And past the tool that I used for the rear one, the arms were probably like this long and it's just easier to go like this.
Way more leverage.
So way more leverage and probably a little bit more control. This is an Amazon tool for probably like $35 to $40. So you cannot expect excellence at this price point. So it is what it is. We'll make it work.
So is that one solid now? Well, at least solid to very minor input. If it rips out while you're ripping around the track, we'll know it wasn't.
So the bolt goes in. Looks fine. This is a success so far, so let's keep going.
Cool.
That should be just fine. There you go. Oh, we'll see if this works. Feels kind of funky. Well, you're gonna know right away. That.
That looks like it fits pretty good.
Yeah, buddy. Kind of eyeballing it. I think it doesn't get much better than this. Boom.
Some good eyeballing, man.
Thanks, man. All right. I don't think I'm gonna be trying that in the car again, so I'm just gonna go through my knee.
It's always safer to use your body parts.
Yeah. Safety second.
That's more like safety fourth.
Changing sizes. Since I'm going with two different sizes, you can go with one. So I went M5 around the window and M6 in the front, just because I want to reuse the stock holes from the stock window. Okay. I'm thinking like right here. I feel like that could work. Doesn't have to be perfect, but should be okay, I think. Nice. Not in love with it. Now it's better. Okay. Let's try again. Okay. This looks pretty decent.
You happy with it?
Oh, I am.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Now the question is if the gasket is going to be thick enough. So we got this, it's weather strip from Home Depot. It was like $4 or something for a roll. But they have different thicknesses, different widths. I knew that I need quite a thick one. This might actually not be thick enough, but it might be just right, man. So I think I'm gonna, based on what I see now, it might be just right. I can tell you which thickness I went with. Yeah, there you go. Squeeze it nice and tight. This looks pretty nice. I'm really happy with this result.
Good.
So what I got is the sponge window seal. Gap is for 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch. It's 3 meters, 10 feet. I hope that this is enough to go around the window on each side. Again, $4.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it might work.
But yeah, I'm stoked. This is beautiful. I am really liking it.
So now you're trying to determine the remaining spacing between the
Yep.
Rivnuts,
3.
using the spot welds as a guide.
Yep. So I think this is gonna be my European eyeball measurement. 1, 2, 3. And this is probably gonna be my last one on this side. I move a little bit closer here. So we started putting some bolts in to see if it fits alright. I can see some of them being a little bit off.
Slightly off.
Pretty soft material, both the Lexan as well as the Rivnuts, so you don't want to cross thread it or force it in, and it should just go nicely in, just like this. Alrighty, well, that's pretty much it, guys. This is how you put a Lexan window in on one of these cars. You got the gist of how to put it in and how to more or less fit it so it looks good and it's solid. There are a few more steps that are left to do. We're gonna remove it, paint this black, put it back in. It's gonna take some time before it dries out. Put the trim back on and call it good on this side, and then do the same thing on the other side. A trick, if that's something that you want to do, you can use this window now as a template for the other side. So once we remove it, I'm going to mark the same bolt, let's say patterns and holes on the other window before I install this back on. So they're symmetric more or less on each side. But yeah, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had fun, if you learned something, or you would like to see something else, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.